Samsung's Galaxy S26 Ultra is shaping up to be one of the most controversial flagships of next year, not because of its camera or processor, but because of its screen. According to new leaks, the Galaxy S26 Ultra will not join the brightness race in 2026, and that decision might actually be smarter than it sounds. For years, every new Galaxy S series phone arrived with a brighter OLED panel than the last. That pattern stopped with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, which topped out at 2,600 nits peak brightness. The upcoming Galaxy S25 series sticks with the same basic M13 OLED stack. And now all signs point to the Galaxy S26 Ultra doing something different. Switching to a newer M14-based OLED panel, but keeping the same 2,600 nit peak brightness. Meanwhile, competitors are pushing the numbers. Apple's iPhone 17 lineup and Google's Pixel 10 series are already rumored to use M14 generation OLED displays capable of up to 3,000 nits of peak brightness, with better power efficiency than Samsung's current M13 panels. On paper, it looks like Samsung is falling behind. Leaker Ice Universe claims that although the S26 series will finally adopt M14-based OLED panels, Samsung will not increase the peak brightness. The entire Galaxy S26 family, including the S26 Ultra, is expected to remain capped at 2,600 nits, but that doesn't mean the S26 Ultra's display will be worse to use in real life, instead of just chasing another 300 to 400 nits. Samsung is reportedly focusing on anti-reflective glass and privacy features that could matter far more day to day. Unlike many competing Android phones, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to use Corning's Gorilla Armor 2 or an even newer version of Corning's ultra-durable anti-reflective glass. We first saw this direction with the S24 Ultra, which shipped with the original Gorilla Armor coating. It dramatically cut reflections, improved outdoor visibility, and delivered up to 4x higher scratch resistance. With Gorilla Armor 2 plus a 2,600 nit panel, the S26 Ultra could look clearer outdoors than a 3,000 nit phone using standard glass. Cutting reflections often makes a bigger difference than adding a few hundred extra nits, especially under harsh sunlight. On top of that, Samsung is reportedly ready to debut an entirely new privacy display technology on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Leaks mention two related features. Smart privacy dimming the S26 Ultra will supposedly be able to dim the screen intelligently in busy environments to make sensitive content harder to see from the side. Think banking apps password screens private messages. The phone could automatically lower brightness or adjust contrast when it detects you're in public and showing certain types of content, helping keep prying eyes away from your data without you having to do anything. Flex Magic Pixel hardware-level privacy screen. More exciting rumor is something called Flex Magic Pixel, a hardware-level privacy display mode built directly into the S26 Ultra's panel. When you toggle this on, the viewing angles narrow, making the screen appear much darker or even unreadable from the side. People sitting next to you on a plane, train, or in a cafe will struggle to see what's on your display. Won't need a separate privacy screen protector at all. This would essentially replicate what physical privacy screen protectors have done for years, but without permanently ruining brightness and color without having to buy and install extra accessories, with the option to turn it on or off instantly with a tap if it works as described. Flex Magic Pixel could be one of the most genuinely useful display features we've seen in a flagship phone in years. It's not just another spec number like resolution or peak brightness. It's everyday convenience and real privacy for commuters, travelers, and professionals working with sensitive information. This direction isn't out of nowhere. Samsung has been steadily investing in anti-reflective coatings since the S21 Ultra Gorilla Armor on the S24 Ultra, now potentially Gorilla Armor 2 plus Flex Magic Pixel on the S26 Ultra, instead of making the screen just brighter. Samsung is trying to make it smarter and more protective. There's also a practical performance benefit to sticking with 2,600 nits while moving to a more modern OEE stack. The new M14 base OLED panels are expected to be more power efficient than M13. That means lower energy draw at the same brightness, less heat, better battery life over a full day of mixed-use pair. That with the fact that Samsung is apparently keeping the same 5000 mAh battery in the Galaxy S26 Ultra for yet another year, and the upgraded display efficiency becomes even more important. With no larger battery to lean on, a more efficient OLED panel is one of the best ways to stretch real-world screen on-time. So while some users will complain that Samsung hasn't moved beyond 5000 mAh, especially when brands like the OnePlus 15 are pushing bigger cells, Samsung is clearly betting on efficiency plus smarter display technology rather than just brute force capacity. Now let's talk about memory and storage. According to recent leaks, the Galaxy S26 and Galaxy S26 will be offered in 2 RAM and storage combinations: 12 GB RAM, 256 GB storage, 12 GB RAM, 512 GB storage. The Galaxy S26 Ultra steps it up with 3 main configurations in most markets: 12 GB, 256 GB, 12 GB, 512 GB, 12 GB, 1 TB in select regions. However, the 1 TB variant of the S26 Ultra will ship with 16 GB of RAM instead of 12 GB. One key market mentioned is China, where local brands like Xiaomi, Oppo, and Vivo are already offering 16 GB RAM or more on their top-tier flagships. To stay competitive at home, Samsung is expected to match them with a 16 GB, 1 TB S26 Ultra. Elsewhere in the world, Samsung will likely stick with 12 GB RAM even on the 1 TB model, relying on brand recognition, One UI's memory optimization, and the fact that most mainstream buyers value storage and camera over raw RAM numbers across the entire Galaxy S26 lineup. Leaks say Samsung will use LPDDR5X RAM with speeds of around 10.7 GB per second, giving all 3 models plenty of bandwidth for multitasking, gaming, and AI features. As for the launch window, the Galaxy S26 family is now rumored to be announced in the last week of January, with global availability rolling out shortly after. Earlier talk of delays of up to 2 months for the S26 and S26 Plus appears to have been walked back by more recent leaks. There are strong signs that development of the S26 Ultra is right on schedule. The phone has already appeared in BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, certification under the model number SMS948B, which is a classic indicator that a launch is getting close and that hardware design is essentially finalized. In terms of overall specs, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is still expected to be Samsung's most advanced smartphone of 2026. With a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset-enhanced rear cameras, with improved image processing and possibly new sensors, a significantly upgraded selfie camera, boosted by new algorithms and One UI enhancements up to 60W wired charging, finally catching up to some faster charging rivals, One UI 8.5, bringing a suite of new tools, refinements, and AI-powered features design-wise. The S26 series is expected to become more unified across all 3 models. From the front, the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra all look almost identical. S26 Ultra is finally expected to drop the harsh, boxy corners and adopt a more rounded design. All 3 phones will have a shape that more closely resembles the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Pro, which the S26 lineup will compete against directly from the back. The S26 Ultra should still resemble the S25 series design language, with individually separated camera lenses. There may be small changes to the camera islands or ring designs, but no radical departure is expected. In other words, no revolutionary redesign, but a set of refinements focused on comfort, consistency, and durability. A lot of Samsungs have been frustrated by what they see as slower innovation in recent Galaxy Ultra generations. Still stuck at 5,000 mAh incremental. Camera and CPU updates concerns that the S Pen takes up too much internal space. Galaxy S26 Ultra doesn't look like a complete revolution, but it does appear to deliver something genuinely new, a world first. Hardware-level privacy display feature that could change how you use your phone in public every single day. Between Gorilla Armor 2, M14 OLED efficiency, smart privacy dimming, and Flex Magic Pixel, Samsung is betting that the quality of the viewing experience, the protection of your content, and longer battery life will matter more than just winning the brightness spec sheet. If the leaks are accurate.